Russian tourists being evacuated from Venezuela, emergency flights, rising tensions, and two presidents pointing fingers at each other, and also the Caribbean. So let's deep dive into it. When superpowers strongly declare a country's airspace closed, people pay attention to this. But when Russian tourists are rushed onto the special flights to escape the country, something bigger is happening. So here's what we know. Russian tour operators say that the emergency evacuation flights are underway from the Isla Margarita, one of the Venezuela's most famous holiday spots. These tourists expected beaches, sunshine, and vacation packages. But instead, they're now boarding urgent return flights arranged by the Russian agencies. Why? Because tensions between Washington and Caracas are spiking again. The trigger came from the U.S. President Donald Trump, who announced that Venezuelan airspace was closed and warned airlines to stay away. This move was completely rejected by Venezuela, which called this decision unilateral, illegal, and openly hostile. Caracas responded by putting its armed forces onto the alert. At the same time, the US authorities alleges the links between the Maduro's government and criminal networks claim that Venezuela is politically motivated. But here's a twist, and it gets more dramatic. For years, Venezuela and United States have been locked into a political Cold War. But this moment is different because it has started to affect the civilians, not just politicians. The tourists, airlines, and ordinary travelers suddenly caught in the middle. And here's the twist. Russia is one of the Venezuela's strongest allies. Moscow has repeatedly defended Maduro. So, an emergency evacuation of Russian citizens is not a small move. It signals that even close partnerships are preparing for the world-class scenario. This raises a big question. Is Washington preparing to a new pressure? Is Caracas expecting a military incident? Or this is a precaution before something bigger breaks? What we do know here is regional stability is Latin America very fragile. One wrong step, one miscalculated action, and the entire situation could escalate fast. And when tourists are being airlifted out, it usually means government expected the turbulence ahead. What's next? Well, there's part nobody knows. But I want to hear from you. What do you think? Is this just a temporary scare or the new beginning of a deeper confrontation between the US and Venezuela and maybe even Russia?